Now I request Dr. Raisuddin, Vice President Sai India and also Professor, Department of Medical Eliminatology and Toxicology, Jamia Hamdard. Sir is also the founder member of Sai India. So please.
Okay. So I'm online. Is it okay?
Yes.
So thank you very much for this opportunity, Honorable Vice Chancellor, the President of the Society, Professor Y.K. Gupta, and I'm the Vice President. Another Vice President is Dr. Vijaypal Singh, who is working with the IGIB and also FASI for a very long time. And then the General Secretary, our very beloved Professor Akbar Shahji. So it's a great opportunity today that we are assembled. And on the insistence of very enthusiastic Vice Chancellor, we converted our meeting in the hybrid mode. So good number of research scholars and students are there. I welcome you all and faculty members in this program today. And Vice Chancellor in his personal self is present here. So we are very enthused to see the leadership of DIPSURU, a very eminent university in the field of pharmacy. And this is one of the initiatives of government now. They have University of Forensic Science in Gujarat, Gandhinagar. And I think that has developed in a very big way. And this pharmacy university will also be taking new leaps and bound in coming days under the leadership of Professor Goelji. So this society meeting is fourth one. The first meeting was held at our university in the month of November, and the second was held in Mumbai, again in the month of November, December, and third meeting was held in virtual mode. But all meetings were attended by a good number of international participants, not only from the neighboring countries, but also far away from America, from Japan. Especially Japanese scientists are taking a lot of interest, and from South Korea also, people are getting close to our society. So this society is, is a young society, still in the fourth year, registered in 2019 at the Tiruchirappalli in Tamil Nadu, and taking shape. But I am happy that lots of interest is being shown by all stakeholders, not only from academics, but also from industry to join and contribute to the development of this society. So thank you very much. And if I can get my PPT, yes. So briefly I will tell about the history and background of this society. And this society, as I said, is not a kind of conventional animal rights society. People should not be confused. We are for the animal research, but in a humane and rational manner. And also we promote that if it is possible to explore the alternative models, like conventional race test has been replaced with more humane and more even not requiring mammalian or rabbit to perform that. Similarly, lots of tests, skin sensitivity test, and even these corrosion test, skin corrosion test. There are alternative. Even human reconstituted models have been developed, and I think on that we have workshop also by very good friend of our society, Christian Polevoisin, from this. So that way, I think universities are the right platform for making such a change. In fact, this is not a tradition in our university. So in America, you see that best of the policies of the country are generally declared by the President of America in the university, on the university campus. You see that president used to visit the, whoever president is there, they will visit the universities and they will announce their policies. But here in our country, this tradition is not there. Our prime minister only visits during the convocation time and gives lecture. But universities are in fact the change. Most of the Nobel Prizes are won from the university, medical college or university departments. Generally, they are not won by like we have our CSIR or DHT or DBT institute. So this university is very much specialized in pharmacy, and domain area is very much very much specialized and the need of the hour. And I think, as everybody knows, that major contribution to the GDP of India is made by pharmacy industry, pharmaceutical industry, contributes to the major chunk of our GDP growth and also GDP in real terms. So pharmacy and pharmaceutical scientists have major role to adopt such kind of changes. So this society, as I said, animal loving has been part of our culture. As you see, our father of nation is with a goat, and he once told that the greatness of a nation and its moral progress can be judged by the way its animal are treated. So Mahatma Gandhi once said that any nation is great if it greatly cares and treats animals in a right way. But it is a tradition, our tradition. I can show you many pictures that in our country you can see even animals are very much respected. Sorry, the previous wala dikhlao, usse pehle wala, that way. So what I said that all forms of animals are in one way. It's not a, I'm not giving in a funny turn, but serious turn. People love so much animal. Our prime minister can be seen feeding a goat, and people worship and love cow. They love snake, all sorts of animal, even mice are rats are fed in certain temples, and they are maintained properly, surviving in good ecosystem with the humans. So it is not that everybody is dying because of plague, some rat is there. So rats are living in good ecosystem in many temples we go, in even sometimes dargah, these majars, these all animals are living together, surviving happily, and there is no dispute between their territory and their rights. So this is there. And even in India, even animals also respect human. You can see the one monkey is giving Ashirwad to a person. So, so it's a reciprocal. I found some picture. So it's a real term. People love to get blessings of animals, and animal love to get blessings of the animals. So this is, we will know that Ansa Parmo Dharma is our motto of our country. So it is non-violence. Mahatma Gandhi, we won our freedom on the principles of ahimsa only. So this is not a new trend that animals are loved. Long back in 1874 rather, Bombay Society for Prevention of Cruelty to the Animals, BSPCA, was established by the Sakrabai Dinsha, the Petit, these are Persian people. They established first hospital in 1874. Around 150 years back almost, they established a hospital for animals in this. So in fact, if I am not right, PETA was established sometime in 1960s or 70s in New York. So very 100 years back after this event, PETA was established in New York. And the Sakarabai Dinsha Petit Hospital for Animals was also founded by Sir Dinsha Manokji Petit in 1883. Itne saal pehle, about 130 years back, this hospital of animals was established. So this tradition, this culture, and this kind of things are not. We talked about the other thing that people love animals because of their faith or religion, but not only that, people love animals in real sense. When even this PETA was established about 100 years after this event, and in India it was established sometime in 2002 in Bombay, something. So that kind of thing is there. So this society is there. Then we have a Vibrate Center for this animal research, alternative animals, as from Tiruchirappalli at Bharati Dasan University, where Professor Akbar Shah was there serving as a professor. And they established UGC National Center for Alternatives to Animal Experiments. UGC, not now, but earlier UGC used to support certain kind of center for excellence or area studies. So, for example, in our university, they have a study center for federal studies. So these kind of earlier, but now I think funding pattern is different. This scheme is not supported, but very long back, this center was established. And then this center, as I said, was established at Bharati Dasan University National Center. And finally, in 2019, this society for alternative to animal experiments was established, for which we have the fourth meeting. It is registered society, and our accounts, everything is audited, and we are under the purview of the government rules and regulation. And but though it is registered in Tiruchirappalli, Trichy in short we call, in Tamil Nadu, but its area of operation is whole India. So these conferences are held in Bombay, now in this year in Delhi. So the main goal of the society is to promote humane education systems by way of introducing alternative use of animals in education, research, and testing also. The pragmatic translation of which will be promoted by the concept of three R's. Everybody know the 3 R's concept: reduce, replace, and refine. So this is there. The other goals I would not read one by one. Only is to promote adoption of practices of 3 R's in India, to network with the stakeholders, like we are networking with institutions, industry, and other stakeholders, to government policy makers also. For example, Dr. Vijay Pratap is very vocal and member of many that CPSEA, that is Animal Ethics Committee, Central Committee, and active member. To governments as well as industry as well as academic, we are not focused on only the academic departments or the university or the institutions, but also with the industry, to arrange scientific meetings like we are having, to sensitize the regulatory authorities. We are, especially when Dr. I think Dipti Kapoor was there, who unfortunately expired 1 year back almost, and very active member. In her place now, Dr. Ankita Pandey is there. So she is also pursuing with government authorities, Ministry of Health, CD, SEDESCO, etc., to adopt the alternative models, and like that, to provide and organize courses, training courses also, like we have training programs, workshops, etc., in between and during and after the conference and pre-conference way. So this is office bearers, Professor Y.K. Gupta, eminent pharmacologist, and also scientific administrator, retired very recently from All India Institute of Medical Sciences, very #1 institutions in pharmacy, these medical sciences, and currently he is associated with THSTI, that is Translator Health Science Institute. I am the Vice President, Vijay Pal Singh. Dr. Akbar Shah is there, who is the research coordinator in National College of Trichy. After superannuating from Bharathidasan University, he got associated, very active. You will never feel that he is retired person. I envy him and feel jealous about his activeness. Please don't mind Akbar Shah. And Dr. A.B. Pant, who is a scientist, and Ankita Pandey is his student, PhD scholar. He is working on an in vitro model at Indian Institute of Toxicology Research. Dr. Adip Rai is also product of Indian Toxicology Research Institute. Currently is working at a senior position in Amway, India. And then Dr. V. Kandamani is our treasurer at the Bharathidasan. And we have some members, EC members there from Tirumani, Muhammad Amin Nazir from CSIR, ITR, CDRI, Dr. Sohail Parvez from our university, PB Mohanan, Sri Chitra Institute, Subramanian Bangala from Liajean Biosciences Industry person, Uman V. Oman, very senior professor from University of Kerala, and Dr. Pratiksha Alag, and Syed Ziaur Rahman from Pharmacology Department of GN Medical College, Aligarh University, Rohit Seth, Irfan Tamboli. These are the members. We have also 3 international and 1 PETA nominee will be always there. Parveen Bansal from Baba Farid University of Health Sciences, Faridkot. So international, whole nation spectrum, people from South, North, West, East are there. And Muhammad Idris from CCMB, very renowned institute, and working on zebrafish models very extensively. And I think he will give some demo also. Suresh Posala from OncoSeek Bio, Hyderabad. 1 nominee from PETA. I forget about Rohit Tamboli. Is Jai Research Foundation is one of the very big CROs in toxicology field located in Gujarat. And then we have three international advisors, Thomas Hartung, who will be speaking, John Hopkins University, and Hajime Kojima from Japan, and Christian Pellavazin. All these people also will be interacting and talking to you. And these are the events, like first event was organized in Jamia Hamdard in New Delhi in 1980, inaugurated by Dr. Renu Swarup, who is Secretary to the Biotechnology Department, Ministry of Science and Technology, attended by in person many guests from Japan, South Korea, USA, and other France, every place, because that time was happy time, no corona on horizon. So, and then in 19 also, same way it was organized at Khalsa, very big. Khalsa College is like a university there, big college in Mumbai, and they have one center for pharmaceutical research and biopharmaceutical research in there, supported by DST. And then during that conference and the previous conference also, we have a pre-conference workshop in IDMOC at the University of Kerala, and then post-conference, meeting conference was at Hamdard, Jamia Hamdard. And then here also some pre-conference workshop on IDMOC and zebrafish at Kerala University, Thiruvananthapuram, and post-conference workshop at National Facility for Biopharmaceuticals at Khalsa College, and then in Jamia Hamdard also. Now, because of the COVID, the third event was organized in a webinar mode at again coordinated by Bharati Dasan University and speakers from India and abroad. Now, this is the fourth conference, and I much thank the Honorable Vice Chancellor for allowing us to have conference in each campus, and other members of the organizing committee who accepted this challenge in very testing times. And Honorable Vice Chancellor suggested that we should have in a hybrid mode, taking all precaution whatever possible to avoid any kind of cross-contamination and contagiousness. So this is a fourth conference at DIPSRU, a very renowned university. As just now Dr. Agarwal presented the profile, I am very much impressed. So much number of students, qualified GPAT, and lots of industry collaboration and innovative research centers have been established. So I hope that BC Saab will also think for establishing a center for alternative research. Just small, maybe society can be a partner in that and guide you. And with limited resources, with maybe pharmacology department or translation research department, it can be conceived and established, and it will be very unique facility for research on alternative. Maybe PETA can also be partner and provide them support, not only just advice, but some dollars also. So this conference, I don't much speak because the organizing secretary will speak about the conference, what are the but they have lined up a very good array of speakers from India, from abroad, and from Japan, from France, from America, from Trivandrum, from Lucknow, from Delhi as well. And then they also have many workshops. These workshops will be held at various places. And this one first workshop, Christian Pellavazin, and then this Albert Lai. There is some change, I think Dr. Patil will communicate about his program. Some schedule will be, I think, here and there. And then another workshop will be conducted in our department, Jamia Hamdard. We have three alternative models established. One is zebrafish model. Second one is the C. elegans model, nematode model, fish model, and fruit fly, that is Drosophila melanogaster. Professor Sohail Parvez is a young professor in our department. Basically, he did PhD under me in 2000. Then he went to Hawaii, America, Queen's Hospital he worked. And then he came to Germany. He worked postdoctoral fellow at the Magdeburg University in a very renowned neurology center. And then later on, he came to Jamia Hamdard as an associate professor in 2010. And now he is full professor. And he will be making And Amin Nazir is also our student. Basically, he did MSc from Department of Toxicology, and then he did PhD from Toxicology Institute, IITR. And then I guess he's a student of Dr. Alok Dhawan, who was director there. And then he published good papers, and finally he became scientist, principal scientist, and head of the toxicology division in Central Drug Research Institute, Lucknow. So that way, the organizers have laid out very good conference and very good pre and post conference events. So I must thank them, and I also wish them all the best. Those who will be organizing and those who will be attending. It will be really treat to attend all those things. And as in they have very nominal registration fee or kind of no registration fee. So sometimes it is required to maintain and to support these even website development, etc., etc. And Vice Chancellor has also extended his generous courtesy to support this organization of this conference. So now my simple appeal is that please join the membership. When I was a student, and first thing I would do, sir, when I get my fellowship, that time it was 1800. When I joined, it was 1200 only. And then after few years, and sometime we admire Mr. Rajiv Gandhi ji. He was very keen to increase fellowship that time. So he made 18, so and then 22. Then when it became 2200, not 1000. So we were very happy. So then I start becoming member of that society, Toxicology, Society of Biochemistry, Environmental Mutagen Society, that society, this society. So every month I will become one member. That time, lifetime membership was 1500. No, 500, sorry, 500 only. And the same now is 5000 because fellowship amount, salary, and cost of everything has increased. So it was easy for me. Even this 5000 membership, 2000 membership is nowadays okay. Life membership. Till your life, you will be member. So become member, join it. You will get membership benefit as well as you will get invitation and notices about conference. Sometime, for example, there is society, this IU Talks, International Union of Toxicology. They want that you should be member of the national society. Then they will provide you award. So one of my students was member. So she was provided $1,500. Good, 1500 into 75, good amount, about 1 lakh rupees. So she went to Mexico to attend. So they asked that, are you member of? Then they needed a recommendation from a member or president or vice president. So I was member and president also, Society of Toxicology even today. So I gave, so she got. So that kind of benefits are also there because you are in research, you will pursue research in university department or in the industry or in some CRO or in some kind of organization. So these memberships are very helpful. Students, don't take student membership, take life membership for 5,000. It is for all years. Then we need to launch some regional zonal chapters. Next event, I don't know where we will have, but if some members who are attending, they can propose their venues. Adopt alternatives in research and teaching. A special call to pharmacy community. I think you just there are many tests. There are many, especially in pharmacology, where there are already alternatives are available. Simulations are available. Alternatives are available. So instead of using a whole animal or instead of talking LD50 determination or something where large number of animals are to be sacrificed, just to know something, to know very sometimes very useless data, and to create some data, and to sometimes meet some requirements of the regulatory affairs. So please, it will be possible. And also we can, like senior people like Professor Goel and others, they can also pursue with the regulatory councils to adopt syllabus with alternative. Ask Pharmacy Council if it is, I think they have some in vitro concepts in syllabus. So at least in pharmacy, B Pharma syllabus or diploma pharmacy or course, they can induce 2 credit course for this kind of alternatives. And with this, I think this must be my last slide. I thank everybody for joining online, offline, and I wish all the best to the organizers, young people, Anup and Dr. C.R. Patil and his team. And I think since Vice Chancellor is, I tell him that See, if your vice chancellor is with you, don't worry about that. So very important that you have support of your head of the organization. So things become rather easy, and you get, and thankfully it is online. Sometimes it is offline. You need to arrange shamiana, tambu, kanas, the dinner, lunch, chai, biscuit, and certification and memento, and this. Lots of money is saved in this online mode. But still, you offered me very good lunch. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.